What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another guide video. This is a very highly requested video for Toxtricity, which I definitely thought was Toxicity, just for the record, so I was typing it in and I couldn't find it. Turns out it's just Toxtricity. I like Toxicity better, but whatever. I also want to say thank you. We have gained, I think, close to 10,000 subs since Thursday. It's currently Sunday, which is kind of a little bit ridiculous. That's in large part thanks to Alpharad. Shoutouts to him. Great guy. We might be doing some content together, so stay tuned. I don't want to give anything away, but that might be something in the future, which would be really cool. And also to Dracovish. Thank you, Dracovish, for showing my channel. Very cool. But yeah, other than that, I think we can just jump into it. Again, we are... I will be posting the updated version. I got a lot of requests for this, so I'm just going to cover it now. I'm going to be posting the updated version of my Dracovish team. I've improved it quite a bit, I think. And so I'll be using that in today's video in the afternoon. Yeah, and again... Pokemon Academy at 100k, that's actually feeling pretty doable at the moment. So, yeah, teaching people about Pokemon, having lectures, opening a public Discord server for free, doesn't cost anything. I've actually started reaching out to people for help with that as well, like for guest lecturers and helping me set up the structure, because it actually feels doable right now. Anyway, let's talk about Toxtricity, because that's what you're here for. So, it has very cool typing. There's a couple of unique things about it. So the first thing is the typing, which is electric poison, which I think is not unique. Is it unique? I don't even know anything anymore. But it's very, very good offensive typing, with poison being... There's just not that many good poison types at the moment, and as poison is one of the best types to hit fairy Pokemon, that's pretty good. Obviously, electric doesn't hit grass-type Pokemon, so poison's good for that. You probably noticed that ground is a huge weakness with this combination, so that is something you have to keep in mind. Toxtricity is cool because it has a signature move called Punk Rock, or ability, sorry, called Punk Rock, which increases the damage of sound-based moves by 30%, and also halves damage from opposing sound-based moves. So if you want to beat a Pokemon like Sylveon, this is your best bet, 100%. This thing is very good against Pokemon like Sylveon, and Mega Salamence, so that's not in the game, obviously. Looking at its stats, sorry, the speed is base 75. I know you can't see it, but it's easier for me this way. Stats overall are not amazing. As I said, 75 base speed. Not the best thing ever. Could be better. Bulk is really not great. It's not horrible, but it's really not good. Low base defenses and a lowish base HP, and then a decent special attack stat. So you might be thinking that based just on this Pokemon stats that it won't be very good. However, I think it will be. I think it actually at least has potential because the ability is so good. The ability and the coverage are both really good. Also, we'll just cover, this one is easier to cover than Grimmsnarl. It does have a G-Max form, which turns electric-type moves that G-Max Toxicity uses into Poison or Paralysis. Paralysis is good, Poison is less good in doubles. I have a feeling that this isn't the best G-Max user, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, yeah, Toxicity. Like I said, a lot of the reason why this Pokemon is good comes from its typing and its unique ability, Punk Rock. So, it does have two forms based on the nature, but I believe that changing the nature with a mint doesn't affect it. Oh, here it is. The actual nature of the Pokemon, yeah. So it doesn't change form when you mint it, so you can have either form if you want. I think that normally low-key form is the one that you want because you're going to be running Timid or Modest most of the time, but yeah. Toxtricity is normally a special attacker, so we can take a look at its move pool. Belch could be good in certain gimmicky strategies. For the most part, it's not great. Acid Spray is good support. Nuzzle's good support. Taunt is a really good support move. Boom Burst and Overdrive. So it gets a signature move called Overdrive, which is an 80 base power spread move from an electric-type Pokemon. But the thing is, because it's a sound-based move, so it's powered up by Punk Rock. So it's like normally an 80 base power spread move isn't that strong, but thanks to Punk Rock, it's actually viable, which is really cool. It also gets boosted Boom Burst, which is a problem. I'll be honest. Boom Burst is a 140 base power move that hits everything. So if your team supports it in the right way, it could be really, really scary. Discharge, Toxic, Shift Gear. Like I said, I don't think you run this physical most of the time. And I think it has mostly the same moves in its low-key form. It has Magnetic Flux, which is cool. Yeah, I think it's mostly the same. In terms of TMs, it does have a couple like decent physical options. Again, you're not really running physical. You have Thunder Wave, but you won't be using that most of the time. Volt Switch is important. Okay, so Snarl is something that I didn't really cover here. Snarl is a move that I didn't really cover because I didn't talk about an Assault Vest set, but you could run like AV Snarl because Snarl also gets the sound boost. It's typical electric type moves. It does get Sludge Bomb, which is good. We already talked about Taunt. It gets Encore, which could be interesting. Although it's kind of slow, and Dynamax kind of makes me like Encore a lot less. And then which I'm pretty sure it gets Sludge Wave, but I actually didn't see it in here. Hang on, Sludge Wave. Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, it gets Sludge Wave as well, so we'll keep that in mind. Anyway, let's take a look at the sets that I've come up with. So, first set is Throat Spray. So the way that Throat Spray works is that after you use a sound-based move, it gives you a special attack boost. So, this is a set that, if Toxicity is able to launch a couple attacks, it becomes very scary. So, it launches an Overdrive, hits both targets with an electric type move, and now it's +1. So keep in mind, you're working with a decent base special attack, not amazing, but not horrible. Now you're working with a +1, which is like essentially you have a choice specs, but you can switch moves and protect, or you can Dynamax. You have an ability that gives you like a Life Orb boost and reduces your sound boost sound type damage, and you got two good spread sound type moves that you can spam, as well as strong special attack, like a good special attack as well for coverage. So. Yeah, this spread, you could run Timid if you wanted. I have Modest on here. You have to, like, you're slower than Gyarados, so if you if you can outspeed Jolly Gyarados if you wanted, if that was something, or sorry, you can outspeed Adamant Gyarados, but you can't outspeed Jolly. You also can't outspeed Excadrill, though frankly you don't really want to be fighting Excadrill with Toxtricity. Though actually, I wonder how much it takes. Excadrill. Sorry, I was just calculating some stuff. So if you had +1 Boom Burst, you would be doing like non-trivial damage to Excadrill. But yeah, you probably don't want to run that. Moves are pretty much, frankly, Toxtricity doesn't get that many. Its move pool isn't that deep, and you don't have that much room for creativity. So I've run pretty much the same moves on almost every set here. So I will say you could drop Boom Burst from this set. I have a different set later that drops Boom Burst. You could run Sludge Wave over Sludge Bomb. I generally don't recommend it unless you have a very specific team built for it. Yeah, but this is pretty much your go-to set, I think. Next set is Choice Specs. This set says, okay, I value the immediate power because I don't like Toxtricity's bulk. I don't think I'm gonna be able to stick around to launch 2 attacks, so I'd rather just have the immediate power and the Volt Switch ability, or whatever 4th coverage move you want. Same EVs as before. This thing is intended just to hit fast and hit hard. Again, the boost that you get from Throat Spray is applied immediately. That's the main advantage of Choice Specs, and you can switch out. That's another thing that's pretty good. Is the ability to switch out your Toxtricity without losing your boost. So. Yeah, I think that this Toxtricity, this Throat Spray one is really good. If you can launch a free attack and get the Throat Spray off, that's really good because then Dynamaxing becomes pretty viable in my opinion. Like you could very easily Dynamax and now have +1 Toxtricity, set your own electric terrain, use Poison to raise your special attack and your partner's special attack again, use Boom Burst to lower their speed. Like there's a lot of possibilities with Dynamax here. This set, of course, you can still Dynamax, but there's less incentive to get the boost first because you can't get a boost first. But yeah, like I said, you can always just raise your special attack on your own with Sludge Bomb or lower their speed with Boom Burst, so those are all good options. But yeah, Specs is here just because it's easier to use, frankly, but you don't have Protect, so you kind of have to choose. Next up, we have Scarf Toxtricity. This Toxtricity outspeeds... Wait, did I mess up? Hang on. I think I messed up. I think this should be 1 point faster. No, I did things correctly. Okay, yeah. This Toxtricity outspeeds Gyarados. Outspeeds Adamant Gyarados by 1 point, so... Adamant, Dragon Dance, and Gyarados. Again, I don't know what the meta is going to be like. I don't know if they're going to lock into Adamant or Jolly in the long term. Normally things start off as Adamant and trend toward Jolly, but with this year, I don't know. I don't want to give you a bit of bad information, but yeah, this outspeeds Adamant Gyarados, which is definitely worthwhile. So you get a little bit more in bulk, which is nice. You could also run Modest if you don't care about outspeeding Gyarados. You can never outspeed Dragapult, so unless it's Modest or Adamant, so I didn't even bother with that, frankly, because you can't outspeed it anyway, so I believe this set also outspeeds Weavile, which is nice. But yeah, I don't think you get Jolteon, but I'm not anticipating too many Jolteon. Same as before, this set just, it compensates for Toxtricity's bad speed stat at the cost of some power. So you still have fast Boom Burst, you still have fast Overdrive, you still have good Sludge Bomb and Volt Switch, which is really nice. Volt Switch is actually a lot nicer on this set, in my opinion. But in exchange, you lose some of your power. So this set is really nice when Pokemon are already weakened, in my opinion. And again, you can always overwrite your, like, choices Pokemon are better this generation because you can overwrite the abilities, or the effects at some point. Like, you could if you really want to. So, yeah. This is actually a set that I know it looks the same as the first set, just with different EVs. However, I want to talk about it. So, when I first saw Toxtricity and when I was first learning about it, one thing that really caught my eye was Toxtricity Oranguru. So the idea with this set is Oranguru uses Trick Room, and then you use Boom Burst. Oranguru blocks it with Telepathy, and then you can Instruct again. So you can get double, or Overdrive as well. So basically you get your first attack off, already like a pretty strong move, then you get your boost, and then you get to use it again. And Oranguru has Telepathy, so it's immune to Boom Burst's effects, or you can just spam Overdrive. So I thought that this, like, I think it can work in Trick Room. like, that was one example. You compare it with Telepathy Masharna. You compare, I don't know if that's legal, but I'm pretty sure it is. Telepathy Masharna, you compare it with Ghost-type setters like Cofagrigus and Runagrigus, my favorite Pokemon. Yeah, there's a couple options for this. Telepathy Gardevoir, you compare it with. I don't know how good Gardevoir is as a Trick Room setter, but honestly, I don't know how bad it is either. I think someone remind me to look into that. Someone remind me to look into that. That could be good. Hang on. Yeah. So this is intended for Trick Room. I think I don't talk about Trick Room Pokemon that often, but so far, but I think I should change that because this thing is actually pretty good in Trick Room. Next up, okay, so the last two sets. Shout out to Justin, Ethic SSBU, I believe on Twitter. Good friend of mine, great guy. I was like, Justin, like these are what I have. Am I forgetting anything? And he suggested Focus Sash. I personally think Focus Sash is not that good because sand is so prevalent right now. But keep it in mind because if sand goes down, or if you have a rain team, because electric and rain is like a pretty good combination. Yeah, like keep this one in mind because I think Sash is actually pretty nice when there's no when there's not sand or rain. But with sand and rain, it's not great. And then lastly, same set as the first, but you drop Boom Burst or Sludge Bomb for substitute. You can drop Boom Burst in general if your team doesn't really support it, because like, yes, it's a good move, but like it's not that good of a move if you're hitting your partner with it, or if you're forcing your partner to protect. So like, I think you could drop Boom Burst in some situations, though I really do like it. I had Throat Spray again here. I think if you were setting up a sub, you might be able to launch 2 attacks. Yeah, you could run Life Orb, but frankly, I feel like Life Orb just isn't that good on a Pokemon like Toxtricity, which has no bulk, and has an item that if you're going to launch 2 attacks anyway, like if you're just going to launch 1 attack, you may as well run Specs, and if you're going to launch 2 attacks, you may as well run Throat Spray. Though I guess Life Orb actually does more damage than Throat Spray, but if you're going to launch... Wait. Yeah, it does, I think? I don't even know anymore. I'm pretty sure it does. I think it's 2 1.3s, which is stronger than 1 1.5. But yeah, so sub is an option as well. You can mess around with moves. You could totally run Taunt on this thing. I really don't normally like Taunt on Super Frailmons, but you could run it. Snarl's another really good option. Snarl's a great move. I didn't talk about an Assault Vest set because the 4 times weakness to ground is like a really big, not something that I love right now, but you could do it for sure. There's definitely room for creativity here. Braviary is really big right now. The Fish is really big right now. Toxtricity is a pretty good matchup against both those Pokemon. It's really bad versus Sand. That's the thing. Sand is really big right now, but a good Rain team or good anti-Sand Pokemon, like you don't have to bring Toxtricity every matchup because VGCs bring 6 pick 4, so you don't need it every game. So yeah, I mean, I think this Pokemon has a ton of potential. It's not as easy to use. In terms of partners, it really benefits from speed control, so it can function both in Trick Room and in Tailwind, so those are good options to look. It's got a nice middling speed, so like pairing it with Icy Wind or Electro Web is another option. But yeah, definitely experiment with it. I don't think I covered everything that you can do here. These are just kind of some initial ways to look at it, but yeah. I have no idea what Pokemon I'm going to cover tomorrow, so let me know in the description, the comments down below what you would like to see, because I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow for the next guide video. So if there's any suggestions, please let me know. If I don't hear anything, I will probably do Stonejourner. But I would like a little bit more time experimenting with Stonejourner. I was gonna do it earlier, but like it's just a confusing Pokemon, so I want to mess around with it a little bit more. But like if you guys want me to cover it, like I have used it a bit, so I can still cover it and do some more research before I make the next video. So anyway, thank you so much for subscribing and watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Watch if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you for the next video, which will be a battle video with my updated Dracovish team, which I think is actually, I think I've improved it quite a bit, because it was basically a 3 Pokemon team before, and now it's a 5 Pokemon team. So yeah, I'll see you for that video next. Goodbye.